Manchester United are set to return to the negotiating table with Brighton today for Carlos Baleba, according to Fabrizio Romano. This marks round 2 of talks after an earlier stall in discussions this week. Romano's exact words were, "There is confidence since yesterday to get the deal done for the midfielder." This statement follows weeks of United being questioned by pundits over their transfer business, with the club now one step away from signing a Premier League-tested defensive midfielder. Brighton have a well-documented reputation as one of the most difficult clubs in world football to negotiate with, rarely selling players cheaply or quickly. The renewed confidence from United's camp after an earlier stall indicates the financial gap between the two clubs has narrowed rather than widened. This remains a live, moving situation, with no deal confirmed or signed at this stage. Before going further into the details, if you're new here, this is Final Whiz, and this channel exists to give you fact-checked, noise-free transfer analysis every single day of the window. If today's breakdown is useful to you, hit subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment telling us whether you think Baleba gets over the line this week. It genuinely helps this channel grow and keeps this kind of reporting going. Roy Keane has offered his own assessment of what a completed Baleba deal would actually mean for Manchester United's title prospects. Speaking through the overlap, Keane said, "United's big problems are going to be defensively." He specifically named the fullback positions and the 2 center-half positions as continuing concerns, regardless of whether the Baleba signing goes through. Keane's framing did not dismiss the value of the midfield addition, but he was clear that solving the midfield does not automatically solve the broader squad. This assessment comes after United have already completed 2 central midfield signings this summer in Andre Santos and Yuri Tielemans. Alongside the headline pursuit of Baleba, Manchester United have also held talks over a left-back target. Transfer News Live reported that United's representatives have been in contact with Racing Santander regarding 19-year-old left-back Jorge Salinas. The report states that United's data team have identified Salinas as a high-potential target. His release clause stands at £13.7 million, and the report adds that United are considering multiple options at left-back beyond this one target. This is a smaller-scale operation compared to the Baleba pursuit, but it points to a broader pattern of recruitment happening at multiple positions simultaneously, rather than a single high-profile signing being treated as the club's only priority this summer. Gary Neville, also speaking through the overlap, gave his prediction for the upcoming season, stating, "I'm going for Guyu and Sesko to score 20 goals each." This is explicitly a personal prediction from Neville, rather than a confirmed statistic or an outcome that has already occurred. Separately, Centre Devils relayed comments from Wayne Rooney on Miles Lewis-Skelly. Rooney's exact words were, "I've heard he's available. It's an absolute no-brainer for Manchester United to go and sign him. He plays left-back, he plays centre midfield, he's young, and he's got a massive future ahead of him." Rooney added that he would love to see the player at United. This is Rooney's personal opinion and preference, not a confirmed transfer target from the club, and it has not been reported as an active pursuit by United's recruitment department. Turning to the forward line, Transfer News Live reported that Manchester United are interested in signing Ipswich striker Ivan Toney if Joshua Zirkzee leaves the club this summer. Toney is being considered as a contingency option, specifically dependent on Zirkzee's departure occurring first, rather than as an independent standalone pursuit. This report indicates that Zirkzee's long-term future at Manchester United is currently uncertain, and that the club's recruitment department is preparing a replacement option in advance of any potential exit, rather than waiting to react afterward. Reinforcing this, the same outlet reported that Napoli are closely monitoring Zirkzee's situation, with Napoli said to be planning a move for the striker specifically if Juventus failed to complete a deal for him. Both clubs have been described as interested, with Napoli having already gathered information on the player. At this stage, Zirkzee remains a Manchester United player, and no transfer has been agreed for him in either direction. Marcus Rashford has publicly addressed ongoing speculation about a potential return to Manchester United. OneFootball reported that Rashford thanked Jamie Carragher after the former Liverpool defender urged people to stop discussing the forward's potential return to the club. Rashford's own words, posted publicly and dated August 19, 2026, were, "Thanks, Yami. It would be great to be able to get my head down and play football without my name being mentioned every day." Rashford is currently away from Manchester United on loan, and this statement does not confirm any transfer decision in either direction. It is a direct request from the player for reduced speculation around his name. Away from live transfer negotiations, Transfer News Live reported that Amazon's camera crews began filming at Manchester United's training ground on the same day that news of the club's move for Carlos Baleba broke. According to the report, this timing caught most people at the club by surprise, with the exception of the recruitment department, who were reportedly seen smiling. This detail suggests internal discussions around the Baleba deal were at an advanced stage before the pursuit became public knowledge, aligning with Romano's separate reporting of renewed confidence in completing the deal. Separately, Fabrizio Romano reported comments from El Bilal Touré regarding his previously collapsed move to Manchester United. Touré's exact words were, "I have no idea why that happened. I've always had offers and interest from other clubs, and I could have moved to another English club." He added that his medical checks went fine, but that he doesn't know what happened, and confirmed he continued to play regularly at Atalanta. Touré currently remains an Atalanta player, and the collapse of his prior move to United is a confirmed outcome rather than speculation. A second post, attributed to an account styled similarly to the verified Romano account, included further quotes from Touré alleging he spent weeks waiting on promises while United's board changed their plans daily, and describing Atalanta as a club with a clear project. Because that account's handle does not match the verified Romano account, these additional quotes should be treated with caution until verified through a confirmed source. Moving to Manchester United's completed midfield business, Harry Maguire has spoken publicly about new signing Youri Tielemans. The two players previously played together during the second half of the 2018-19 season, when Tielemans arrived at Leicester City on an initial 6-month loan from Monaco under then-manager Brendan Rodgers. That overlap lasted roughly half a season. Tielemans completed a permanent transfer to Leicester that summer for a reported £40 million, while Maguire departed from Manchester United in a world record move for a defender weeks later. Maguire's public comments referenced Tielemans' experience playing under pressure, and specifically noted that Tielemans is the captain of Belgium. If this level of detail is exactly the kind of clarity you're looking for this transfer window, that's what Final Whiz delivers every day without the noise. Make sure you're subscribed and drop a comment below on which of today's stories you think matters most, Baleba, Xerxes, or the left-back search. A wide-ranging set of season predictions has also been compiled, covering league finish, Champions League progress, player of the year, top scorer, breakout player, and signing of the season. League finish predictions ranged from as high as first place down to as low as sixth, with the majority of assessments placing United between second and fourth. One assessment specifically noted the midfield showing direction, while flagging the increased fixture schedule and squad depth as ongoing concerns across 4 separate competitions this season. Champions League predictions lean towards a quarter-final finish, with assessments acknowledging this marks United's return to the competition after roughly a decade away. For Player of the Year and top scorer, Bryan Mbeumo appeared repeatedly across both categories, while Benjamin Sesko was also heavily backed for goals, with one prediction suggesting he could become the club's highest single-season scorer since Robin van Persie during Sir Alex Ferguson's final season in charge. Breakout player predictions centered consistently on Shea Lacey, described across multiple assessments as having overcome previous injury issues to become a first-team contributor during the recent pre-season period. Signing of the season predictions split primarily between Youri Tielemans and Andre Santos. Tielemans was praised for his value relative to experience, with one assessment specifically calling $35 million for a player of his quality impeccable business. Santos was described as the higher upside, less proven option, with one assessment framing him as a bet on a talented player who had been unsettled at his previous club. Taken together, Manchester United's summer currently includes 2 completed central midfield signings in Santos and Tielemans, an advancing pursuit of Carlos Baleba described with renewed confidence by Romano, a data-driven left-back search involving Jorge Salinas, a conditional contingency plan involving Ivan Toney tied directly to Joshua Zirkzee's future, and continued uncertainty around both Zirkzee's next club and Marcus Rashford's long-term status. Roy Keane's warning about the fullback and centre-back positions remains unresolved as of this reporting. If you've made it this far, you already know this channel does the work of separating fact from speculation, so you don't have to. That's the entire point of Final Whiz. Subscribe now, hit the like button, and drop a comment below on which story you think matters most, Baleba, Zirkzee, or the left-back search. Because this transfer window is still moving, and we'll be here covering every update as it happens.